How's Uber look? Don Nico, what's up? We can take a look at Uber here, M1. So just started the recording here. So if you're new to this, obviously we're just gonna have a power hour stream. Feel free to drop tickers, charts, any questions about unusual whales. Feel free to drop them. But we are gonna take a look at Uber here for M1, and the stream will go a lot smoother too if everybody has some flow to look at, because the flow's been pretty slow this afternoon. So, all right, let's look at Uber here for M1. Let's see what we're doing here. So Uber. So today, so when do we have earnings? 11 days, okay. So let's see, I see a pretty big size here on the put cells here. Let's see how they look though. So 7 days. We do have some previous open interest. I just want to double check that to make sure it's not, okay, so definitely not part of that one. Okay, let's look at that flow and see how that looks. So it's coming in as a block trade. I don't have any flow to kind of go around it, but how far are we out of the money? 6% out of the money. My guess is they are probably selling them there. How's our net premiums look for the last couple sessions here? Just not a lot of premium here. So yeah, I would probably say these are put sells here, and 6% out of the money over the week, and you got theta too. So I like those as put sells. But let's see what else we got here for the day. Multi-leg Uber here, otherwise not good. Bid side call, a little longer date. Ask side call here, 111K. My guess, they don't look like they're related. Timing's about an hour off. I want to look at these calls though. 3% out of the money. So looking like they're all kind of, don't have any of that flow to come in before it to kind of look at. I want to take a peek at the highest volume on the day for it. So Uber, let's see. So obviously 0 day is going to be pretty high on that. So bid side. I'm just trying to see if anything sticks out mixed on that big premium there. So 0 day puts, obviously going to be a little heavier there. Let's see. Yeah, that 84 day 22.5 call looks interesting. I mean, your 100% ask side here. We can take a peek at those. I need to clean this up quick actually. Okay, let's re-add that. So this looks pretty clean there, and it looks like they may be adding, I mean, these are really deep in the money too, so it starts to get kind of arbitragey if it's that deep in the money. We'll just look at that flow from today. Oh, and it's going to be part of a multi-leg trade here too, and it doesn't show us exactly what one, and something that deep in the money you're going to probably ignore anyways. Let's see what else we got. I'm going to probably lean and say nothing super interesting for Uber there, besides maybe those put sells and that longer dated call. Let's see. So 100 there. So 147 on the 120 calls. These kind of look interesting here. A lot of open interest on them already. And the 21 calls. Okay, we're going to look at these two and see how they look. 22.5. They're all deep in the money, which I don't like. Let's do the 120 call because that is not in the money. So obviously, I just want to kind of see. So I just don't like how you have all that flow before it. It makes it tough to know like what whale is in and what is what. You guys can't hear it at all? Should be able to hear. Okay, 1 second here. 1 second here. Okay, how about now? A little better now? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it's so annoying because I have my speaker on for my notifications and sometimes it will not switch over, but all right, yeah. Let me know if there's an issue with it, but it sounds like it should be good now. Yeah, the Uber ones probably aren't looking the best M1. Just there's a lot of deep in the money. Can't really tell where this whale is since you kind of missed it. These there were some weekly put sells, some big size there. I said those leading probably put sells there. Um, Again, okay, 1 second here. Alright, we're gonna turn that stupid thing off. Okay. Okay, how about now? How's the sound now? Sound is a little better now, or should be better here. Alright, we're gonna sound check. How's this? Can anybody? Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna probably have to end this quick and restart it unless... Okay, alright, 1 second here. Okay, how are we doing for sound now? Okay, that's absolutely odd. Okay. Wouldn't be a Friday without technical difficulties, I guess. But, okay, M1, so sorry, back to the Uber. Yeah, so I had those put sells there. We can look up bull here for you, too. Hopefully the sound continues to work. Yeah, that's really odd there, why it switched over there. I do like to keep the speaker on so I can hear the little pings, but sometimes it's goofy, I guess. But let's look up the flow here. So yeah, if you missed it, at least it should be recorded, hopefully, here on the Vimeo here. We'll find out, I guess, at the end of Power Hour. But let's take a peek at bull here. But yeah, so you're just wrapping up again M1. Nothing really good for Uber. Just kind of put sells there, and then just some multi-leg junk and just lots of deep in the money calls. Okay, let's look at bull here. Let's see. Yeah, it wouldn't be a Friday without technical difficulties. So bull up about 4% on the day. Let's see. Gonna pop that DTE off and just see. Yeah, and you have earnings coming up. I think it was 11 days there till earnings, so you're gonna have to kind of deal with that here. All right, let's. I'm just seeing some longer term puts here on bull. Your big ask side put. So this is your outlier here, obviously, 35 put. But they're so deep in the money where it's so arbitragey, you just kind of don't even deal with it there. Yeah, let's. I'm gonna pop that premium down and see what I can fine there. So just try to kind of just scroll this over a little bit. Let's see, so 30, I mean, you're just not seeing a lot of premium here though. I'm just kind of scanning that premium. I just look for that premium first to kind of see what sticks out, but a lot of bid side calls here too coming in. A lot of longer dated bid side calls, and they're obviously selling them 159% out of the money there. Can probably guarantee you those are put their call sells that far out. Let's just take a peek. The hell is that dinging? Did some dinging. It sounded like the ice cream man. It's like 20 degrees out, so don't know what that would be. Okay. So that IV does increase or decrease when that flow comes in there. I am just kind of looking at that IV. So then that IV pops here at the end. And something this far out might be kind of hard to tell too a little bit, but I'd probably lean call sells on these. Just, I mean, you're 159% out of the money. Odds are you're probably not going to be in the money, but again, 800 days out, a lot of time on those. Just trying to see what else you got here. So some ask side shorter term calls here, and so 10, 36, 46, about 50K in premium here on those 84 day out 15 calls. But you can see how messy that flow is. You don't have a really good open interest on those. A lot of open interest on those. Just kind of scanning, so more that 84 day, they like that expiration a lot there. So long term put. And that long-term stuff, I tend to stay away from. Just there's so much that can happen within that time. So 56 days. These were a little earlier in the day, obviously, but about 50K in the 12.5 here. I'm gonna have to turn this off too. Let's see. So previous open interest here. Let's just kind of go back and look. So definitely an opening trade today, obviously. 137 trading about 139. So these would be a decent one to maybe hop in here. Earnings in 19 days there. Yeah, an actual reasonable strike, 8% in 56 days. I mean, you can see the stock moves a lot, so yeah, that's an interesting one. I like those 12.5s, just the earnings I don't like. And more those 12.5s a little earlier in the day too. Yeah, that 12.5 getting a lot of action there. Good find on those. I'm going to try to turn my speaker on, so if the mic messes up again, please let me know like right away. I like to hear that ding when I'm looking in the flow. Alright, let's see.
Bluetooth connected.
Alright, sounds still good for everybody? Just hoping that stays on. I heard it ding through that, so probably... Okay, good. Alright. And yeah, Discord did a stupid update for Halloween, so now it's some dumb little, like, Halloween notification. It's really obnoxious. I can't wait for it to go back. Alright, let's see if we got anything coming in here. Just a bunch of multi-leg stuff today. I like these Avgo weeklies though. These look interesting to me. 1409. Yeah, it's really obnoxious. So these Avgos for next week. So a lot here. I got a big chunk of bid side. You're 3% out of the money. Weeklies. Yeah, I will... Bruno, I'm not going to be bullish on Webull until they let me do trailing stops for options. It's the most annoying thing and most common sense thing that should be there are trailing stops for options. I don't get it. I've complained so many times. You can ask NY Jets about that. I've complained so many times about the Webull not having trailing stops for options. It's annoying. It's the most simple thing ever, too. So, okay, let's look at these weeklies for Avgo. It's kind of okay, here we go. I'm just trying to see when that flows coming in. So, okay. A lot of flow here to digest. So, okay. So your IV spikes here, so 43.22 here, coming in at the ask here. Let's just keep following this up. So 43.16, some drops, and that's bigger premium on that drop, so that's concerning to me right away. IV drops again here, 42.81 at the ask. Spot still coming in at the ask. Now you have it spike a little bit, back up to 43.40, 43.23. Yeah, when this IV starts kind of moving around a lot, I don't like it. So IV 43.89 here, so it's increasing, and that spot's coming up here too. And your IV drops again. Then your IV spikes again here, and then I just want to look at that recent flow here. It's 45. I'd probably have to lean buys on this one, and then it drops again there. 45, 50. So these are probably, if you made me choose, I would probably say they are buys here. The weeklies over the weekend kind of suck just because you have theta for 2 days, but with your net call premiums up here, a lot of call volume coming in now too, and lots of volume on those. I mean, you're at 4.6 million on this chain now. I'd probably say they are buys here. I don't know if I'd want to swing them over the weekend, but you just see how that's kind of hitting the tape here, and I'm going to drop this a little bit just so you can kind of see it a little better. 395, 425, 460. So you see how that, yes, Bruno, these are going to go in the spotlight. You got it. You got it. Yeah, you just see how that spot's increasing. So it looks good to me. It's just the internals. It's where you start to question it. Like if I have to sit and question the flow, I kind of will pass on it almost, and it's already kind of starting to make a move here, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it in the spotlight quick enough. We can take a peek here at WFC for you. Let me just pop this into the spotlight flow here 1 second. Yeah, like this is the stuff that you see in the spotlight flow where it looks really good, but there's just some things like, I mean, that's a massive bid side on that candle there, but that IV was increasing on the bid side. So, I mean, you have different pieces that kind of match and they don't match. Let's check. Let me pop this back over. I want to take a peek at the chart for Avgo quick here. Let's see. I gotta get a drink quick too, so time out. Okay. So let's take a peek at Avgo. So, okay, I mean, your chart right away looks good here. I mean, can't really count this as a bull flag, but you can see where you're where you would almost have that breakout where that flag would be. I wonder how we look on the weekly. Yeah, your weekly is a flag here then. Kind of a messy flag here, sorry. But yeah, I mean, I like that daily for that flag a little bit better, but that's a really ugly flag there, so apologies. It looks better on the daily, honestly. And even on the daily here, you would almost look at it kind of breaking out here, and now you got that gap there as well. You just don't have that big candle here on the daily. Yeah, I'm just trying to, so that was your big candle after earnings there. Big green buy candle there, a lot of volume there. Yeah, it seems to kind of be rejecting. I mean, you did break out here, but yeah, that volume's decreasing there, so good sign there. RSI is pretty neutral. You're pretty extended here. Let's just kind of do a quick zoom out here. I don't trade Avgo that much, so I haven't updated the chart that much, but just kind of trying to take a peek here and let's just draw a couple little trend lines in here. There's going to be some ugly trend lines. I usually take a lot. I'm going to get rid of that flag. Okay, hold on, time out. Okay. Take a lot of time usually to kind of chart everything out. But on the live, I feel a little pressure to get it out a little quicker here. Yeah, I mean, I'd say you'd be kind of trending at that trend line, and that's not the best trend line. You could probably even tighten it up a little bit in here as well. Tighten that up here, and you would be technically breaking out of that uptrend here as well. And I kind of want to see how we look. Oh, that's going to be ugly there. That's ugly. We're just going to do it. Yeah, I mean, I'd say you broke out of that uptrend there to the on the little lighter volume there. But yeah, I like that. If I had that connecting big candle there, like on the weekly, it would look a lot better. And I mean, everything's at all-time highs too. And actually, what I would do, and see that, oh God, get out of here, stupid lines. This is why I like kind of charting stuff out, like not always on live, because I just sit there and kind of mess around with it. So like now, if I was going to take this on a short-term contract, I'd maybe, I'm going to just try to tighten this up again a little bit. Like this is something I'd probably look for a momentum entry on, or even like a retest. Like if you come back down here to the top of that downtrend here, and you can see we obviously broke out of that, but a little lighter volume, I'd maybe look for a bounce if you could come back to that 352 area and bounce back off, and then my risk would be a close below that. But just with it, and with like it be depending on the days to expiration as well too, like if I'm 7 days out, I'm probably looking for a momentum entry versus something big massive. Bruno, you got it wrong. It's actually 3 days to make a trend. You gotta tune into more of these lives, Bruno. You're slacking there. And I just gotta give you a little shit because you always give me shit. So making me think all hard in the morning and stuff about all the option volumes and stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, somebody knows how to use the edit button. I see it. But yeah, so like the AVGOs, like I'd look probably yeah, the momentums. It's been such a, I mean, like for the flow, like our flow recap's gonna be so not crappy, like results wise, like it's gonna be a short week just because Monday we didn't have any flow with the AWS issues, and it's just been really slow waiting for CPI today and all that. But back to the original thing, the AVGOs, I'd look at those maybe as a momentum. I'd probably wait till Monday to get them. I don't want to swing over the weekend on weeklies. I'm not trying to deal with that theta decay. Let's clean this up a little bit. What else do we have? Tesla, this is junk. Unless they obviously filed for bankruptcy or something over the weekend, but 26% out of the money. Weeklies, these are going to get crushed by theta. ETF flow, and yesterday, I want to go to yesterday, so I had somebody, I think it was on X, ask me, they're like, there was a lot of put ETF flow yesterday. Now, this is just where kind of screen time comes in, and just kind of having knowledge of the market comes in. A lot of puts here from yesterday, and if you look at them today, I mean, they're all going to be crushed. These were probably hedges going into CPI today, so this is why you didn't see any of this posted yesterday. It's just kind of time in the market and knowing here. These are interesting. That I was gonna say that just came in. No, what do we got today? Yeah, I mean, gold dip buyers still trying to hit that there. I mean, a lot of net call premium here on the day for gold too. XLU. These EEM calls. I heard a ding. What do we got? Cores puts. We can look at these next. Do overlap earnings though. EEM calls. This is pretty flat even. off this. And I did see some previous open interest, so we will go take a peek at that. So, okay, IV spikes on the big size and premium. I would probably label these as buys. I just don't like that net premium there. Let's take a peek. Yeah, something's fishy here. I mean, you're just seeing lots of dips on that call premium. I'm not a fan of that. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna go look at those cores puts. Oh, okay, target call. Get out of here. You got in the way. Okay. Cores puts then target calls. Okay, so let's see. 1,000 there, 1,000 there. Could be exits. This is one that you'd want to wait till obviously Monday to update. But let's look at this first candle and just kind of take a little peek here. So 97.64. This is just that first trade on that. Take it for the day, 97. Okay, so those decrease, increase. Now let's look at that candle that just kind of came in. These look like buys. If you see about 2,000 come in here on Monday, I would probably say these are buys. And cores obviously gets kind of a lot of action here, but overlaps earnings. So, but yeah, this is one that you'd want to double check that open interest on Monday. Let's look at the target calls here. So net call premium coming up here now. How do we look the last 7 days? Just kind of flat. A lot of put volume today though, it looked like. Previous open interest. I just need to take a peek. Looks good. Come here, click. Okay. I can't click. Thank God it's Friday. Can't get a mic to work. Can't click properly. So okay, 31.54. Those look good there. So I'm keeping an eye on that spot here. So 31.54, just coming up, coming up. So IV is dropping a little bit here, and then it drops even more here. Could be sells at the ask. What do we got? And that's on the bigger size and premium here too. I might have to lean sells at the ask on something like this, but this I'll put in the spotlight flow because it looks interesting to me, but I just don't like that IV drop. Let's see, IV. Where's my spotlight flow? Pop that in here. MSTR call is going to be earnings here, and probably just not a serious earnings play. I mean, 28% out of the money. Just probably trying to catch something for an IV spike here. Yeah, I mean, you spike, but you're going to get killed over the weekend here. What do we got here? Tide, how are we looking here? Yeah, just bullish tide here. How's our net call premium looking? 212 million. Put premium 30 million, yeah. Interesting that not seeing a lot of action out of the money premiums here. It's just all premiums here, so it's mostly probably in the money calls being bought right now just to kind of take this on. And this has just been untradeable this afternoon. I was expecting a lot more volume, and every time I say that, we never get it, so I'm just jinxing it all the time. But it makes it tough too on CPI days because you get that move up pre-market, and I mean it's just kind of choppy for the most part. I mean if you're a scalper and you just kind of chop out a range here maybe. I mean, like, that'd be my, like, really tight range, a little dollar range there, but getting too late in the day to kind of chop a range because you're going to have the market on close data coming here shortly. But yeah, I mean, like, that pop back down to the VWAP and up would have been a good spot maybe, just kind of knowing how choppy we've been. The Q's looking, yeah, I mean, just kind of trendy. Just a slow, trendy, grinding up day. And I mean, even your net impacts, just not seeing a ton on here. Tesla's your big one there. Let's see. Sorry, I got pinged in the main chat here. Just not a lot. I do want to look at those coin puts from earlier because those made a very nice move here. Where were the 0-day coins? So your entry was here, 209. I mean, and those ran really quick here, up to about 353. So really quick move on those. And my guess is this is where that whale was probably sizing out here in that 298 range, 227 range. Maybe they got out here at the ask at 353. I'm not going to be able to tell on a 0-day, obviously, because you're not going to see that open interest change on Monday. But yeah, that was the only flow alert for the day, and I'll take it because I scalped a couple of those and I should have went heavier. But like this was probably because this was 9:10 Central Time for those. Just up in here in that 9:10, so they're probably just looking for a little pullback here, and that's kind of when the entire market dropped a little bit here, about that 9:10-ish there. So maybe I was just looking for some profit taking here. I mean, you're up big on the day, and that's all you need. That second, this one, they could have been exiting at the ask there, Bruno. They could be exiting at the ask, because when you look at coin, and keep in mind, when these came in, they were pretty much almost in the money, because you're looking at the, I'm going to pull up coin here on Webull 1 second here. Oh, pfft. Okay. Nobody's seen that. That's embarrassing. Let's see. So 9:10, and these were the, so 345 calls coming in at 9:10. So here's your 9:10-ish here, 345. These came all the way back down and hit that like 343. So they were about $2 in the money. So let me come back here again. So the spreads on coin too are a little wider too, and especially when you get in the money here, they're gonna widen a little bit more. So those were in the money. God, why do I keep exiting out of that? Okay. So at the time, that 353, that was probably your ask, and everybody, I want puts on coin. So that spread's going to widen on something like that. So to me, they're probably getting out here at the ask or pass them off onto somebody, but we won't know on this one just because they expire today. It's the only issue there. But yeah, good move there. And we can look at that candle and see if we can get any hints out of it. And with them being in the money too, it's going to be kind of hard because that IV will be spiked as well. So I'm just kind of looking at 85. Yeah, and when they're in the money too, I mean, like, look at that spread there. It's a 15-cent spread there on something like that. And obviously, the deeper in the money you go, the wider the spread can get, and that IV is going to be elevated, especially when it's dropping. But my educated guess is they probably got out there and maybe took some profits in here as well. That's just a quick educated guess on that. Let's pop this back and see what we got. A little more UUU calls. 14 days, so okay, these do overlap earnings. That thing just popped right away. And some of this flow, I mean, like this will be hard to get just because it's a quick pop, but we can look at it. So I mean, yeah, you see that IV spike here, IV spikes there, but then you have that IV decrease here, on your big size and premium. Like this, I would make me not want to get that trade right there, and then your IV kind of continues to stay low there. Yeah, like I would, at first glance, I would probably say these are sells at the ask, but hindsight, obviously, look at how it's moving up there now. Sometimes your criteria, like, then this is why I have that spotlight flow channel. Like, if the IV is decreasing and the flow still looks good, I want somebody to, oh, okay, well, I like the chart, so I want to get this flow. Because sometimes, I mean, the spot can decrease, the IV can decrease, and they could be calls and they could pump. You just never know. So yeah, and I mean, you're getting a lot of hits here too. So I mean, that, to me, like when I see it in live time too, like how it kind of hits, I mean, this is all within 2 minutes here. And they're different strikes. They're probably buys now that I'm looking at it, and 0 days there. I mean, they're looking for a pop there on those. So the INONQ 1031.58 puts. Okay, no earnings. That IV is coming up. Big multi-leg. So anything over 10%, I kind of disregard. Just not a fan of it. We'll take a peek at it. So 113, 15. So 115.48. 1554. Yeah, these I would probably say I'm gonna actually post these. These look good. 279. Even though they're weeklies, how far are we out of the money? Oh wait, no, they're multi-leg. Ignore me. I'm not gonna post those and clear that out. Yeah, you can see those the U's getting a hit here now. So I would probably tell you they are buys. I mean, look at that thing pump into close. We're in the last 20 here. What is it? Yeah, somebody woke up. Core Weave puts 7 days out, no earnings. 14% out of the money. A little out of the money for weeklies for me. So you got your IV spike here, flow coming in at the ask. Just watching this up. So then you got that IV drop here, and you're still coming in at the ask. So this would be a spotlight flow, and I will post this in there. Weeklies and 14% out of the money are not good, but I could see a pullback here. I mean, you're up 7.5% on the day. Let's just pop this into spotlight here. Getting a lot of flow now here in the end of the day, of course. Everybody waking up finally. On puts. This is almost more of a mid-fill, not even going to waste my time looking at that. You're getting filled at 111, bid-ask spreads 107, 115. NVO, the 1031.52 puts. I want to see that previous open interest here. So back on the 17th. Okay, so it's not probably not part of that. And it's already tanking. Yeah, those weeklies will move quick sometimes too. That's the one thing. So 55.17. Yeah, I mean, you can see right away. I mean, that timing here. 14.35. You're coming in at 55.17. Same time. Spots at the ask. Then you pop here, spot price rises, IV increases, 55.90, you're staying up all the way there. Spots coming in at the ask. Those look good here if they would have already made a quick move. And just finishing off here 55. So you do have some volume come in here at the end where that IV drops, and it is the same time here. So like that's where most of that flow looks good, but then you kind of have some junk here at the end that might throw it off. But obviously that thing's dumping right now, so good example of if the IV decreases and the flow still runs in your direction. More Avgo puts here for next week. So are we pulling back in this entire market kind of pulling back here? GZU still going. Well, market's coming back towards that VWAP. Let's look at those Avgos. So IV spikes. Spikes, you're coming in at the ask, and then you drop here at the end. And if I saw more put premium too, that'd kind of help out. And if you didn't have all those earlier calls on it for the weekly too. Q10 days, and just the ETF premium is just kind of high 300s. So I mean, I like to see size and premium with these, like the SMHs here. That spread was a little better, but these look like it's a block trade anyways. So it's probably not going to be able to. Oh, we got some flow before and after. So like this is what I talk about when I say I'm looking for flow before and after it. 120.91, then you see IV spike there. The after, I care more about the flow before it more than anything, but that spread just sucks and over the weekend too. But like that's what I like to see for ETF flow is big size and big premiums. Like that's good. Like those SPY puts would probably be good here from 11:30. SPY's getting a lot of put premium here. How's the holdings looking? Holdings kind of flat, put volume kind of picking up. But again, do you want to really swing these over the weekend? That's usually not the best outcome for weeklies over the weekend. Does anybody have any other flow or anything they want me to take a peek at? Because it's just nothing coming in. Tide. Yeah, I mean, your premiums are essentially flat here. It's just your all premiums here. Oh, yeah, WFC. Whoops, sorry, M1. We're going to look at the chart and then look at the flow. Feel free to always yell at me if I, like, miss something here, too. So let me remove my drawings. I want to take a peek on the weekly. Good thing earnings are done with that. It looks like, just drawing a quick trend line here. I mean, you're breaking out of that. I mean, you're breaking out more there, so that looks good there. How's the volume look there, too? So, on the weekly, I mean, you had some good volume on the weekly there. But let's look on the daily. I just want to kind of look at that daily volume. And your daily almost looks like you got a little flag wanting to form here as well. That's just an ugly flag there, but you can see where that flag would be. Now let's look at flow for you on it. WFC. So you got some weekly calls here towards the more midday here. I just want to see if these made a move for you though. So still in on the 82. Those are 5% in the money though. 84 again in the money. High multi-leg too on them all. And the money, I mean your premiums are looking good here. Yeah, you're the hedgy here, aren't you, M1? And yeah, I'm just kind of looking at the last 14 days here too. I mean, biggest day of net call premium back since the 20th here, and obviously this was after your earnings here on the 14th. So yeah, I mean, price is a little, I know there's people that kind of look at the divergence between price and your call premiums here, and I'd say I'd want to see price kind of catch up. Like now, if I was looking at something like this, and I look at that price here, just almost, if this was a little bit higher, you'd have a nice head and shoulders coming in here. Let's look at, and it doesn't look like that on the chart. Interesting. I don't really ever chart on this, but like this, if I'm looking for a good bounce on this, obviously I would probably, I'm just doing a quick little area. I always like discounted entry, so I would almost kind of look in this area if you can get back to that bottom of that flag here, about that 84, 85-ish area. See if we can get a bounce out of that again, because it seems like it wants to reject that top of that flag. But I want to see if we got any other flow for you here. Let's go a little further out. Let's do 90 days. Bid side put. Big nasty multi-leg trade here. What do we got for the last couple days? Yeah, I'm gonna say these are interesting here. The 116.87.5. Let's see if they're still in. It looks like they may have passed them off on the 22nd. Let's go back and look. So okay, there's already a lot of open interest on this. So my guess is, get this out of here. So 20th, we had 10,000, 8,000 carried over. We had 13,000 traded that next day, about that same amount. So this whale, my guess is all of this got sold about this 360, 350. When did they get in? 370. Yeah, and sometimes it's weird what the whales do sometimes. Because I mean, now look, they missed out on the run that came back up to 445. Yeah, that's why I say, I mean, if you follow the whales, like at least have a plan on or throw a stop on. Just the price movement of some of this stuff can be so odd, and you just don't know exactly what they're fully doing. I mean, a lot of bid side calls that next day. More 56 days here, 90. We can look at these. This starts to get so messy, and I mean, there's a lot of open interest on this. Yeah, it's just when there's so much open interest, you just can't really track it as good. But these 7-day ones, again, they're in the money, so if they exercise, you're not going to see that volume until Monday. That's the thing. Like, you will just see that volume drop off. There will not be a candle if they exercise. So that's why I kind of avoid in the money stuff as well, too. See, AMD weekly puts coming in small size against a lot of volume on the day. You can probably say you can't tell what is that. 730, 13. Probably I would lean there, probably ads here. But a big drop in that call premium on the day. 6% all the money. A lot of multi-leg though. Amazon calls. Let's take a peek. Yeah, no, M1, that's, I mean, what I like to do is I'll find the flow, then I look at the chart. So I mean, it's essentially the same thing, but that's another great way to do it too, as if you like to chart out the stuff first. I feel like the flow helps me just find the chart easier instead of just pulling in a bunch of names and just kind of going through everything. Like what I typically will do, and I want to look at these Amazon calls quick. 18% out of the money, 84 days. Obviously going to overlap earnings next week. Call premium up, call volume up. Probably will say these are buys without even having to look at the tape. Yeah, 35, 25, 35, 35. Yeah, these look just perfect buys here. Just if we didn't have earnings, I'd say they're perfect. They'd be a good flow alert. But these will go into, come here. These will go into our Spotlight Flows folder here. And I didn't have to go back and look at that open interest because you're only about 4,900. This is 5,200. So right away, just that math, you know it's an opening trade. That's just screen time from looking at this thing for so long. Let me pop these in here quick, and then I'm going to show you a good tip and trick that I do M1 when I'm going through the flow. So I have, let me go into my option screener. So I have a setup here. So I have my hottest contracts on the day. So these are going to be your biggest premiums on the day for everything above, I think I have it 80% ask side activity. So you're going to see all that big premium. So what I do at the end of the day, I pull these. I just make sure they're not overlapping earnings. If they are overlapping earnings, I'll kind of just see how much it's overlapping them. Like, I mean, these are probably not earnings plays. I mean, 175 days, earnings in 11 days are probably not, it's probably not an earnings bet, but I pop these in and I just pop open the chart, and then like I would start charting that way. But I don't like posting stuff that overlaps earnings as like an idea, just because you can get burnt on it even if you're 175 days out. Like these, like the GMs here, we just had earnings here, 147 days, 80 call. Let's look at the chart. So your 80 call, where are we? 80 call, you know, you're not super far out of the money with a lot of time. So GM, okay, well I look at the chart, okay, well we're pretty extended here. I know that whale's still in, I know that whale has, there's a lot of time here. We obviously broke out of, broke out of this kind of resistance area here as well, and let me kind of adjust a little bit here. Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of in no man's land right now, so like what I would do is, I know they're out further, so usually anything like 60 days or more, I'll just kind of start at the weekly and work my way down. But I mean, like on the weekly, I mean, you just see that massive breakout to the upside. And like this, I'm not going to buy calls right now. I'd like to see, and I know they're 100 and some days out, so there's a lot of time. I'm going to try to find a discounted entry, and something like this, it sucks because it's at all-time highs. But let's just kind of see how the trend is looking here. I mean, even the trend's a little messy. So you got that. We're going to go back to the daily and check that. I mean, you know there's a massive gap to the downside to fill as well, and that volume is kind of decreasing there. Yeah, you don't, and I don't draw my trends across like that, so I don't like that. Let's take a peek at the month. So your monthly. So on your monthly, you look a little better, obviously. Breaking out there. Like now, if I'm looking for a discounted entry, and I don't want to wait for a bounce back to that uptrend, kind of just circling this area in here. I mean, that 60 to 63 range kind of just, I mean, that's where all your wicks were dropping before, so I'd kind of like to see something come back in here, and that would test your VWAP here to about 62.71, but it's hard when it's at all-time highs like that and you have long-term flow coming in. But yeah, like the GM, so that's a good example there. Oh shit, where'd we go? Shit, where are we? Okay. Like the GM's like, yeah, you know, they have a lot of time on there. They're probably not looking for this to move in 2 days, 3 days. They don't care about what's happening in a week. So that's just kind of like my order of operations when I'm doing that. Yeah, that's exactly what I used to do, though, back in the day, M1, before I used unusual whales. Like, you just had to pull in a bunch of names, and it's like, oh, you gotta sit there and chart. But, like, this, I just like to pull in the flow, see if there's flow, then match it up to the chart. So, like, Palantir puts 119 days out. I know we have earnings. Let's just take a look at that quick. Palantir. Like, okay, well, 119 days, I'm gonna say you're probably pretty overextended here. This is on the month, though, and look at that volume decrease over the month. That's interesting there. Let's look at the weekly. So, like here, I mean, this is a clean spot where I would open up some shorts. I mean, and we can zoom in here on the daily and probably see exactly why. I mean, you're coming right into a supply resistance zone. I mean, this is a pretty clear one here. Like, oh, come here. And then you have that flow to, oh, fuck, man, I keep going to the wrong thing. Okay, so, like, then you have this flow to support that there. I do want to see that open interest, though. Just make sure it's not. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, see, like, these would look good. I mean, a lot of time on those, but the only issue is earnings. That's the only thing. But I'd like to see a pullback here. Break this, you can see a run back down to here, hopefully. And you could ask Keith when he does a live stream later what he thinks about Palantir. See if he charts that out about the same here. And I do want to take a peek at how we're looking trend-wise. Just doing a crappy little trend line there. I mean, you're sitting right on that uptrend here, and if I kind of just do a little chart here, I mean, yeah, I'd look for that uptrend maybe. I mean, you're sitting right in the middle too, so it sucks that way, but you got your supply resistance zone here, obviously kind of looking at that weekly as well too. Just kind of little slighter volume, and look at that green candle on the weekly. A lot of light volume there, but oh, it's the bell. I didn't even see what we dumped into close, didn't we? Wow. All right, well, thanks to everybody that joined. Sorry about the mic problem at the beginning. I'm hoping it's be a little better next time, but everybody have a great weekend. I will have everything else up as well, the flow recap and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah, VMP, we can look at Gamma quick here for you. Let me